Hello, happy Friday. Sorry I'm running a little late today, but you know what it's like, it's a Friday. It's like the second hump day, it's almost the weekend. But it's fine, we are here. We are stitching on death again today. Does that look blurry? I swear I fixed the focus. I think it's because Zelda, wait. It's Zelda. Moved it. Ay. I'm just gonna put my fan on real quick because I'm getting a bit warm. Yeah, I had a cat hair in my mouth, thanks Zelda. But anyway, like I said, we are here working on a death once again. And we're also at the same time streaming on YouTube. So yay. I feel like this is further away than it was the last time I worked on this. Hang on. Oh, squeaky, you can hear the squeaks. I'm just gonna... There we go. Yep, we're trying something new out for me. It stemmed from the conversation we had earlier this week when I said like I wish I could go back to having my showers at 8 o'clock. Hi doctor, how are you today? Because it was just, you know, it's one of those things where half my day's gone by the time I get up and have a shower normally. So I was like, oh, do you know what, I think we might try it. Get up at 8, get in the shower, and like, because I'm not having a proper shower at the moment because I need to have my bag on, so I can't do a proper shower as in a nakey shower because of the bag. I know some people shower, like do a full shower with their bag off. I don't like the feeling of being soggy, so I choose not to have a shower, like a proper full shower, until it's a bag changing day, because I just don't like feeling like a soggy biscuit. Maple was in my lap. I feel better than yesterday. Oh, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. For both things, that Maple was in your lap and that you are feeling better than you did yesterday. Yeah, so I was talking to my mum and I was like, look mum, maybe we should do my showers at 8 o'clock. And at first she was like, what? I was like, I know that's like, it's not stupidly early. She's up by then anyway. It's me that's the problem because I don't go to bed till about 4 o'clock in the morning. But I was like, let's just see. And I was like, if I can't, then we won't bother. But the issue is having to wait for everyone else to get up before I can have my shower. So if we get up before everyone else gets up, then I can have my shower early. So we tried it today, and it was alright. We got in the bathroom by 8:30 and we were out just after 9. And that was doing a shower and all my dressings and stuff, so yay. Though we did have to run a extension lead into the bathroom. Bearing in mind, I know it's not safe, but we did have no running water. There was no water anywhere nearby it, nothing was running. Because we have to dry me using a hairdryer because that's my prescription. I was prescribed daily showers, which makes me sound like I'm dirty. It's more like for wound management, daily showers, because I used to have baths. But then when I started going to my London-based hospital, they were like, no baths, just showers. I was like, okay. Hi Mischief, how are you doing? On this Friday, I was gonna say fine Friday. It's not a fine Friday in terms of the weather. yeah, so like that's where we are. So I was prescribed to have showers because it's to help with my wounds, to keep them clean and things like that. And it's irrigation essentially. I'm doing well. How are you? In Texas it's finally cold, at least where I am. I'm doing good actually. I feel a bit productive, though my computer doesn't want me to be. Because I finished doing all my Notion, like catching up with the dates and things, I've been adding the pictures. Now for some reason, I don't know how, I've either saved the images from Discord, like when I uploaded Discord, or from my phone sending them to myself on Discord. For some reason, some pictures are HEIC files, and so they won't open, like in Paint, so I can compress them. So I'm having to spend ages deleting a bunch of pictures, re-adding them, and then going from there, and it's just been very annoying. And I'm like, ugh. So like that slowed me down, like on that front, but I managed to do a few of them. Like I said though, it's just very annoying. And then I realised, as I thought that I started taking daily pictures once I started working on the elephant birth sampler. Apparently I didn't start taking daily pictures because there are days where I have, say, 200 odd stitches, but I have no picture to show for it, so I'm just going, huh? Or I'm missing pictures completely from albums on my phone, so I'm having to check to make sure I didn't take the picture, or I did take the picture and just never added it to that album. So like it's just been annoying, but Windows, just my computer doesn't like me. It keeps, like, Windows File Explorer just kept not responding every now and again, and it was just a pain in the backside. And I'm gutted, right? I thought I found some 32 gigabytes of RAM, some 216s to make the 32 to go in my computer, and it was 80 quid, and it was going to come from the US, and I was like, oh, do you know what? I'm fine with that if it means I get my RAM. Luckily I didn't pay for it because I checked again, it was actually 2 8 gigabytes, which is already what I've got, so I would have just paid for gigs I've already got. So I'm glad I didn't, but I was just like, ugh. So I have to either pay full price for £250 worth of RAM, which, ouch. It's not 250 exact, but it might as well be. Or wait a bit for the prices to come down to a reasonable level again. That's a lot. Yeah, especially when I bought the RAM initially in 2023 and it was £66 and 66p. And then I go on to the website where I got my computer parts from yesterday, literally on stream, and it was like 239. I'm like, what? So that was fun. Like, part of me is just like, it might just be easier to just get a whole new computer. As much as I would hate it, like hate getting one, it's like maybe I should just get a whole new computer and get it on like one of those like loan plan things, so I don't have to pay it off in one go. But it's just such a pain because all I want to do is upgrade my RAM and get some better cooling so I can play games again. Like, that's all I want. I don't want a proper beast. I just want to be able to play Silent Hill. Well, Silent Hill F without my computer bursting into flames. But yeah. It's just out of stock everywhere, or it's stupidly priced. So that's what I'm dealing with right now. But hey ho. Now I know how people felt when they were trying to get better graphics cards during the pandemic. And when NFTs were a thing. If only AI would go as quick as NFTs. My favorite thing about the whole NFT thing was when people would just right click or tap and hold and save the image, and then they'd post it underneath as a reply. And the people who bought it as an NFT would be so mad. And it's like, well, you clearly don't own anything because it's just a picture. It's a JPEG or a PNG at most. I did laugh when people would be like, here's my NFT profile pic. And then people would be like, oh, here's my NFT profile pic in a reply. And they'd be like, hey, that's my image. And it's like, I own the rights to that. And they'd be like, no, you don't. Like, I wish we would have just done that with the AI. Just shame them every time so that way they just don't post about it. If only. Oops. Oh, I went one too many. Oopsies. I finished that diagonal I was working on yesterday on stream on Olivia. And then I started the next one. So I've done that. So now, with that one stitch left on page 1 complete, I have finished page 1 on Olivia's hydrangeas finally. I'm going to try to get the missing thread colours after work today so I can just stitch all weekend. So excited. Oh, I'm excited for you. The only problem is you're going to be like watching the clock now being like, come on, come on. It's like anytime I was at school and there was something I really wanted to do when I got home, the day just felt longer. Because it was like the hours not going by quick enough. I'm trying to give away a diamond painting because DAC gave me a double one. But no one I know personally here do the hobby. Oh, which one? Oh, I know it's 10 a.m. Yeah, yeah, you're gonna be like, It's Mega Splash from the Little Mermaid collection on DAC. Oh. I'm sure there'll be someone out there that will take it off your hands. It was one of their Black Friday releases, yeah. I'm about to post it on Facebook Marketplace, yeah, so hopefully someone will snag it. There are Facebook groups dedicated to destashing as well. I guess it depends on how much effort you want to put into getting rid of it. If it's just like, it's free for everyone who wants to come get it. Kel might want it. I think Kel might have it already, that's the thing. I tried joining one but they denied, but it's my fault because I only have a Facebook for games. Oh. I think Kel has that one, I'm not 100%. Maybe not actually. I was trying to join so I could destash older ones I no longer want to complete. Yeah, Crafty Kel in the Discord. She's based in America and has a lovely growing collection. So maybe Kel might want it. But it also depends probably. Sorry, I was just looking in the Discord to see if I could see Kel's, like, a posted Kel stash. I'm double checking the Whips channel. I've got a mystery box again. No, I don't think she has that one. So like I said, you could ask if she wants it. Yeah, I'm willing to send it anywhere as long as it's to a good home. Yeah. My YouTube chatbot is working today. Don't know what I did to fix it. I did the same thing today that I did yesterday, where I closed it and reopened it. Apparently this time it was just like, okay, I'll work. So there we go. Because I was just checking to make sure I hadn't missed any YouTube messages, just in case. You can also post in the Discord if there's any you want to get rid of, to see if anyone there wants them as well. I wouldn't know which one to put them in though, because I don't have a specific... Maybe diamond painting enabling. Because you would be enabling people to buy them from you. True, but it will be free. Well, that's what I mean though. You could put it in there, and if people wanted it, you could sort something out. I could make a D-stash. I mean, you could, yeah, maybe. Hi Natty, how are you doing today? Because now I want to get the Winnie the Pooh one. It finally was restocked. Ugh. The parade one. The one that's like so much white in the background. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. I'm pretty good, and you? I'm good too, thanks. Is it all white? The entire background is, yeah. Not a pure white, I think it's an off-white. But I think it is all white. Yeah, thank you, Lil. At least it's not all 310, no, like my one mystery kit. Not like that one I'm doing for my sister where the whole background's just 310. I'm not kidding. If you go in the mysteries thread in the diamond paintings whips, like 10 dresses, yeah, 10 dresses also, all 310. But if you go into the thread for the mystery paintings, the 30th of September, just there's no spoilers. It's spoiled, but there are no spoilers because you can't see anything other than the black dot on everything. And Book Witch is also all black, and that's in my stash too. I have quite a few. When I look at my stash, I have quite a few that are just solid black backgrounds or solid coloured backgrounds in general. Aw, there's a Randall Spangler coming out as well. There's 2 Randall Spanglers coming out tomorrow. It's called A Day at the Beach. Though I cannot get anything other than the Moonbound this week. Because that's going to be expensive. But I'm looking forward to going back to diamond painting. I just don't know how I'm gonna fit it in with my streams again. Let's see. My lines are starting to disappear on this. Let's just... Why is the nib white on this pen that was literally brand new? Oh, was it stored the wrong way round and all the ink's drained? Okay, maybe I don't draw, but look, there is nothing coming out. The pen needs to be stored the other way. Hang on. That's annoying. Okay, we'll put it back. Draw it upside down. I do have this thicker pen. Which isn't ideal, but it will do. For now. I don't normally use this thick pen to do the lines because, like I said, it's a thick pen. It would be a thick boy, but I have no other choice at the moment. My other pen is out of action because all the ink is drained from it. But it's fine. That would do for now. I'll fix the rest later. It's fine. I have gone live on YouTube, diamond painting, Twitch. I only played Sims 4. I have cross stitch before live on YouTube, but my biggest following on here is diamond painters. Yeah, my biggest following I think over on both is obviously cross stitch. It's what I started with. But I want to be able to branch out, like, and play games occasionally. But not on YouTube because I don't want YouTube to get, like, my YouTube viewers to get confused. So, like, that's why when I start doing more gaming streams over here, they're going to stay to Twitch, unfortunately. I might have to make a second channel on YouTube for my VODs. because I think it's a bit confusing. If you scroll down to the bottom of my YouTube channel, it's Resident Evil. But back when I used to stream back in like 2020 and 2022, I used to do gaming streams every Friday. So I'd stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Monday I'd work on a stitch along, I think it was. And then Wednesdays I'd work on a regular whip, and then on Fridays I'd play games, and that's how I streamed back then. And then I took a break because of my health. Came back again in 2024 with the Monday, Wednesday, Friday for a bit, and then after I had and then I took another break for most of 24 at the end, like the after, I think it was like September. And it was because I was meant to be having surgery originally in September, but it got pushed back to November. So I just took all the time off, and then I came back in January 2025, and I've been here ever since, essentially. I have breaks every now and again, or I have a day here, a week there, but that's about it. I have another channel on here for Sims, Simming with Natty. Huh. Are you upset with the EA buyout with Saudi Arabia and all the AI stuff that could potentially be coming in? Because I know a lot of people are unhappy with that. I would be too. I don't play The Sims as much as I used to like years ago, but if I was like a regular creator of Sims content, I would be pretty mad. Yeah, so I started doing, and then I slowly implemented more streams until I was doing Monday to Friday. And now you guys are stuck with me. Heh heh heh. But I definitely notice a difference in viewership when I've had time off, like when I've had a week or two. And it's because people they lose track of the schedule and stuff. If they're not in the Discord and they're not being kept up to date, they kind of just forget. And then Twitch just turns off notifications. Sims is one of the only games my epilepsy allows me to play. I use a lot of custom content in the game anyways, but I haven't played in a while. What's changing? I don't know specifically what's changing, though I know that there's going to be no more... No, I don't actually know. I know Saudi Arabia bought it. Adam McIntyre on YouTube has covered this whole thing. So it might be worth watching his video where he talks about it. But there's suspicions that AI could be put into it. The original team behind it aren't going to be doing anything more to it, I'm pretty sure. Ow, I just stabbed myself, it's fine. And because Saudi Arabia is very anti-LGBTQ, you know, the whole LGBTQIA+, well, that could be going from the base game, because no be gay, no do crimes is allowed. a lot of the Sims content creators on YouTube pulled out the creator program, so I don't think there'll be any more content packs though. That's crazy, right? It's just EA just sold it for money. And people aren't happy about it, and like I said, I wouldn't be happy about it too if I was a regular enjoyer and played all the games and had all the base packs, or not the base packs, or the what are they called, the add-on pack things. See, I don't play The Sims. I got 4 when that became free on Steam. I do have it in my library, but I'm gonna post it on DStash once I get home. I thought I had a picture of it to show it unsealed. That's okay. Mischief. People can patiently wait. I have all the add-ons and play through EA. Yeah. So it's like, I don't think there'll be any more updates and stuff. Wait, I should be ending this thread. Sims 3 is still my fave. The only Sims I properly played was the Sims that you could get on the Wii, and the Sims that you played on your mobile device, or iPad in my case. I always spend too much time making the characters. Like, that's the most fun bit of The Sims for me, is making the characters. But, you know, there's apparently another game that's coming out that's Sims-esque. I don't remember what it's called though, so I'm no good at that bit about telling what the other game's called, sorry. Right now my sister is trying to get me into Heartopia. Yeah, I've heard about that, but I haven't seen anything about it. Like, I've heard about it, but I haven't seen anything about it or played it myself. That might be the Sims one that people are talking about, and I'm just not remembering it properly. Hello, I was just wondering how you got into cross stitch. I dabble in hand stitched embroidery, but I started with cross stitch. Well, Mark, back in, wait, when was it? Hang on, I have to, maybe 2016? Maybe around 2016. So I had left secondary school when I was 15 years old. When was that? In many years ago now. And I was bored at home and I was watching YouTube. And I was watching a lot of YouTube and I was watching a lot of Twitch. And one of the YouTubers I watched recommended his, like, he shouted out his wife's Twitch channel. And she was playing a Pokemon game. And I noticed she had these little magnet things on her computer. And when I went to her YouTube channel, I found out that they were cross stitches that she was stitching on plastic canvas, and as a result was turning them into magnets to stick on her computer. And that was basically it. I was hooked. I was like, I need to try this. So obviously I tried it. I wasn't very good at first, but I persevered. And then I just carried on. So I started off making a ton of plastic canvas stuff. And then I slowly built up to fabric. And I did the thing that most stitchers do when they first start stitching, which is where you make every hole a stitch. So instead of what I'm doing here where every hole is connected, I would literally do a cross like this, then I'd leave a gap, then I'd do another cross. It was like I was stitching over two without stitching over two. And it wasn't till I was like, how do people get it to go in that hole, that I realised, and I was like, oh. So then that was it. I got hooked off of Pokemon essentially. And then I slowly dabbled into bigger patterns, and my very first large pattern was the Evolution Rainbow by Walking Melons, which was charted by Heaven and Earth Designs, which you can no longer get unfortunately. But that's how my stitching journey started, and here we are. About 10 years later nearly. That's awesome. And you know what, it's weird because I didn't see myself as the sort of person that could sit there and do this sort of a thing for hours. Not apparently I can. Who knew? Not me. I'm trying to see if I can find, without switching accounts again, my... Nope, hang on. Let me drag my keyboard down towards me so I can... Ow. It's fine, I'm just smacking my hands on everything. Oh, actually, it was 2015. My bad. It's been 10 years. But yeah, I started like... I know what you mean. Sometimes I can sit and stitch for hours, but other times I can only do it for a little bit and lose motivation. Yeah. Yeah. I actually stopped stitching in 2021. I just had a lot of things that happened and I just went, that's it, I'm done with cross stitch for a bit. Like I had a group of friends, we had a big fallout at the time. We're still not friends, I don't even talk to any of them anymore because no thanks. I don't need that toxicity in my life. But anyway, so when I fell out with them, because most of the stuff I was doing was inspired by them, I just fell out of love with cross stitch for a bit. And I was just like, and then I had surgery in August of 2021. So I went from February till the August essentially without putting a single stitch into anything. Guess what? You've finished something? Is that the guess? Did I get it right? I need polyfill. Oh yeah, you need polyfill, and there is a cat laying upon you. Yes. You have a maple sitting on you, so you're stuck. Very unfortunate, that is. But yeah, I had a big falling out. I stopped stitching. I had surgery in 2021 in August, and I was really bored, and the only thing that I knew that could get me through the recovery, because it helped with all my other ones, was cross stitch. So my first thing back was the Hello Pumpkin chart from Caterpillar cross stitch. I finished the body, so only filling and head is left. Oh, you're so close. So close. And then, except I bought a piece of 36 count because I was dabbling in 2020 with even weaves and linens. and I haven't been able to go back to Ada since. I actually don't like Ada anymore at all. It's a curse, because if I get to convince you to try it and you don't like Ada or anymore, then I'm very sorry. If you don't want to be enabled run, yeah, this is the worst place to come if you don't want to spend money, because I start talking about things and before you know it, your bank card's out and you're like, oh, Emma ruined Ada and lower counts for me. I did. I got later on to 28 count for full coverage, and now she's like, I can't stitch on 18 count or anything. So whoops, my bad. So maybe start finishing anything you've got on Ada before you start getting too invested, because oops, my bad. I'm a bad influence. Oh, speaking of, not me being a bad influence, this is related but unrelated to the topic of me being a bad influence. My threads in that from Roxy Floss Co. should be here tomorrow. So that means I will be able to... I have that. That's the one I have there. Well, not the mini. Not the mini. I have the regular one. With no background. Hang on. There it is. But the internet is a dangerous place for me, because what happens is I find something and then I come on stream and I talk about it, and before I know it, some of you have bought it to start with me and I'm like, oh, my bad. Like, I still have to restart that at some point, Beautiful Secrets. But I bought it on, I bought the kit, well not the kit, I bought some fabric that was autumnal in feeling to go with the Hello Pumpkin. And I realised you're not really supposed to stitch 2/2 on 36 count, because it's just too tight in my opinion. Now I'm not saying you can't, because there are definitely people out there that do and like it. I personally felt it was too thick. So I'm not restarting it. What I might do is, all I have stitched on that piece is the owl and the fox. Let me see if I can find a picture on my phone, because using my computer to show you guys will be useless. I just have to scroll back. Do you want, like, this is how bad this is, right? This is how many... I have all my projects mostly in folders on my phone. So I have cross stitches and diamond paintings in here. But yeah. That was closed. There is something at the bottom that is very sexual in nature. Oh, wait. No, it's definitely right at the bottom. It was my sister sent me a meme ages ago. And it looks... Well, it doesn't look. It definitely is. I'm not going to say what it is, but yes, that's definitely not safe for stream. And luckily I was paying attention. Let's see if I have a folder for... I don't think I do. No, I don't. Okay, this is going to be a fun chore to go through my... As well as if my phone... Me and my phone are going to have a fallout in a minute again. I was freed. Yay, freedom. Wait, I should just go to 2020. No, 2021, you numpty. April. August, not April. August. Surely I took a single picture. No. No, not a single picture. Wait, does Notion... Hang on. Notion might have to come in clutch here. I might have it on Notion. Let me just pull this needle through before I stab myself in the face or something. Notion. Whips. No, we actually don't want whips. We want project cards, actually. Sorry. 20. It's not finished, so it won't be in the finished category. That's fine. Here it is, but the media, the files and media is empty. Why? I swear I took a picture of this just specifically for my whip parade. If not, then I know it's on my whip parade from last year. That's on my YouTube somewhere. It's actually on my YouTube, not somewhere. It's just on my YouTube. Hang on. We will find this together, even if it's the last thing I do. It was my very first floss tube. Oh god, I'm an hour and I just scrubbed an hour and 56 minutes in, and I'm still in 2020. That's still 2020. That's still 2020. Ah ha ha ha. Hang on. Ha 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 ha. I have it, guys. I found it. Where's my Google? Now I have to find Google on both the Twitch page and the YouTube one. Well, actually, I only have to find it on one because then it'll appear on the other. But there it is. There's Hello Pumpkin. So this is on a piece of 36 count. Do I bring it up close? Also, you can see I used to stitch in a hoop. I don't stitch in a hoop anymore. I use either a frame, like a Q-snap, or a nudge, which is technically a hoop. But here we go. Bring it up a bit closer. Do I never bring it up? I'm literally complaining in this part of the video about stitching 2/2 on 36 and how bad it is. I told you. I'm very consistent. But oh god, that poor owl. But yeah, so basically that's the project, and my plan is, when I work on this again, is I'm stitching, I think that's something, I don't know what that is, I can't remember. But when I finish stitching whatever that is, or at least that strand, or maybe the entire thing, I haven't made up my mind yet, I'm going to stitch the rest 1/2. You might see a difference, you might not, nobody's going to care, but I just can't. No. But that's Hello Pumpkin. BRB, okay, Lou. Yeah, so like that's that. My headphones are slipping off my head. I need better grips on this thing. But then after that in 2021, I have been pretty consistent. If I'm not cross stitching though, I am diamond painting, except at the moment I'm not diamond painting. Not because I don't like it, I definitely still do. Otherwise I wouldn't, if I didn't like it, I wouldn't be buying more every week. Though I have to limit myself to only getting them from certain designers. And it seems like Diamond Art Club has heard me, because since I've said that, every week so far they've released nothing but ones from the designers I said I can only buy from. Like literally last week we had 4. We had, what was it? It was a, oh I know what it was. It was a Yumi, a ChrissaBug, a Margaret Morales, and a Richard Lawrence. And because of that, because they did 4, I was like, fine, I get to get 2. I was like, I get to have 2, and I'll take the smallest 2. So I have the ChrissaBug and the Margaret Morales coming. They were supposed to be here today, but for some reason they haven't turned up yet. I probably won't get them till Monday now, if I had to guess. If I just check the tracking real quick, it'll probably say it says it's still going to turn up today by 10 PM, but it's not out for delivery, so I don't think it will. But that's fine, I'll wait till Monday because I have my fabric and threads turning up. So I will have fun preparing all that ready for the first Saturday in February, because for full coverage February that will be my Saturday piece. Even though it's not full coverage, it's a large chart. Oops, and it's a year-long stitch along, so I want to stay up to date with it. So it's 11 months long, but I want to have the border done in February. And the only way for me to do that would be to stitch the border in February. Because Jacob from Modern Folk Embroidery, he has laid out how the part should be. So that's what I'm gonna do. I know some people are breaking it up into smalls because it's such a large chart that each part can be a small. But I also have quite a few of the Modern Folk Embroidery stitch alongs I want to do, and I've already started. Like I have the 2024 one and the 2023 one. I don't think I liked 2025, so that's why I don't have that one. I'm pretty sure I didn't like it, like enough to want to start it. I say that, but watch me look it up and I'll be like, actually, it's not that bad. I don't know what I was on about, but who knows. But I'm doing the Little Acorns sow, which is the one for this year. Oh yeah, no, I didn't really like last year's. It was the Border Quinn birdies. Here, let me see if this will, yeah, this will work. So this is this year's, the Little Acorns. This is last year's. This is the one I have to stitch. I'm stitching it with 3810 and 3808 because I just love the way it looks. Then I've got Reach and Skyward, and I have these extra centers. I don't know which one I'm going to use yet. I haven't actually decided because I don't really like this one. I might go for like this one maybe, but we'll see how I feel when we get to it. That was 2022's. I didn't like it as much. I really want to do this one, the Fruits of Plenty, and well, this one too, but also the Four Seasons one. I have been like really wanting to do this since I saw it for the first time, because that is just But then there's Hope. I don't know what it is, something about a design. I can be like, I really love that one, or Like, I like that one too. That one's nice. Again, this one, this one, this one, and this one, and this one especially are the ones I really want to do. I need to finish these two as well. So that's what I'm doing in March, because I'm doing both miniature March and monochromatic March. Although I'm not sure how the small full coverage is going to work now. I might have to just kit that one up myself, because the person that does it at Thread Geeks is taking a break. I don't know if I can still order a thread pack or not, but they won't be back until April, and it's like, oh. Because that's put a bit of a spanner in the works for me, because I wanted to kit up in March. Well, I wanted to get it kitted up in April ready for May, but I'm worried she's going to get an influx of orders and then not get round to my one, because I need it by May. Well, I need it by the end of April, really, so I can do Margaret Morales May. Otherwise, Ivory Crow's going to have to come back out. There's nothing wrong with Ivory Crow. It's just I want a new start for my Margaret Morales May. I'm just gonna mute myself real quick. I need to sort my hair out. My headphones are getting on my nerves and it's bugging me. I'm not going anywhere, I'm just muting myself for a couple of minutes, so I'll be back in a sec. Right, let's see how this goes. But the problem is, my hair's in a ponytail and I wear glasses, and then my headphones. Every now and again I have days where my headphones don't want to sit on my head, but my glasses also want to be squished by my headphones. So I get this like weird feeling in my eyeballs, like I'm looking through my glasses wrong. It's really uncomfortable, and the bridge of my nose starts to hurt. Sometimes it happens because like my headphones aren't tight enough, but these are as tight as I can get them without them squishing my head. So who knows? I might have to just sit and suffer with them. But I can't do contact lenses because my eyes get too much grit in them, and I'm like, Yeah, I used to get that too, and for streams I switched to the KZ ZS10 Pro wired earbuds, I get good quality sound and no issues with my glasses anymore. Yeah, I'm just a over the ear person. Well, over the head person. I like to be able to hear nothing but what I'm listening to and nothing else. And my ears don't like earbuds. They pop out all the time. So I'm just stuck with it, I guess. Oops, sorry. The things us glasses wearers have to put up with. We have to put up with our glasses fogging up when we go outside in the cold and come into a warm building and be like, well, I can't see. We have to put up with like constantly finding smears and fingerprints on your glasses though you swear you didn't touch them. You constantly poke yourself in the eye because you've taken your glasses off for a minute to do something and you instinctively periodically push on them to push them up. And you go, ow, that was my eye. Oh yeah, my glasses aren't on my face. That's why. Thus fair, I had to change the little buds a few times to figure out a good fit. Yeah, I see when I get them in my ears, they just slide out over time as I talk. And because I stream, I talk a lot. So I just can't. And I have a cat who likes to come up and rub his face or his body all over me, so I would lose an earbud. Or he'd play with them because that's what he's like. And my cat has a weird liking to earwax. I'm not kidding. If you leave I have Apple AirPods. I have the very first lot that came out. And they still work with my phone. And every time I take them out of my ears, he's like sniffing at them. And I'm like, dude, can you leave them alone? I clean them periodically because of it, because he likes to like lick it, and I'm like, no. And Spike's having a scream sesh. Yesterday it wasn't just Spike that was screaming, it was actually Pickles and Loki too. But it doesn't happen often enough for me to be too bothered by it. It's just every now and again. Like, this is the first time it's had it, I think, since I've got these new glasses. Which was last year. I should really be getting my eyes tested every year, but I have a lot of stuff going on as well. Tell you what, the quality difference when I got these glasses was night and day. I didn't realize how bad my eyes had got until I got these new glasses. But then I found out when I had my eyes tested that because I have Crohn's, I don't know if it's just Crohn's or if it's autoimmune conditions in general, but we're supposed to get our eyes tested more frequently because it's more likely for us to have our prescription change often because of the illness. So I was like, oh great, so the reason why I need glasses, And the fact that it took me years to find that out, like I was diagnosed in November of 2021, been dealing with these issues since I was a child. So we suspect I've had it all my life, like maybe not since I was a baby, but definitely a child at most. But it's also possible I did have it from birth and it just was one of those things where it just got woken up one day. But the only fortunate thing for me is because I'm not working at the moment, I get my prescriptions and that for free. So if I need to get new glasses, as long as I get a certain pair, I don't have to pay for them. So I get free DLC for not being able to see properly. We're just starting to get to the skeletons. Oh, the skull's eye, not the skeleton, the skull's eye. And then just after that in here, this is all hair. Sorry, this keeps wobbling because it's on a Lowry stand that's attached to my desk. It annoys me when it wobbles, so I'm sorry. Most of you probably don't care, but because it bugs me, I'm like, I try to make my streams enjoyable and take out all the things I don't like from other people's streams. Like, I have really bad misophonia, so I don't like the sounds of people chewing or drinking. I cannot stand it when I'm watching a video and I just hear someone gulping on their drink. And it's like, why don't you just get closer to the mic? I literally just said that in the video I'm watching. I can just hear gulp, gulp, gulp. I'm like... I thought I was hearing things. No, they literally just took a gulp of their drink. I just don't like it. I get very annoyed at people in this house when they do it too. I will death glare at them until they stop. I'll just sit there and stare at them and I'll be like, and they'll look at me and go, what? And I'm like, you're eating loudly. And they're like, no, I'm not. I'm like, if I can hear it over here, you're eating loudly. Now, as we've discussed before, I'm fine with it if people have a medical reason. Like, they have a deviated septum, they have a cold, they have an issue with their jaw. I'm fine with that. It's when someone's just smacking because they won't chew with their mouth closed. I'm like... Again, if you have a medical issue that causes you to need to chew with your mouth open, then that's different. But if there's nothing, the mouth stays closed. I don't know what it is. I think it's because I have really sensitive hearing. That it just gets my nerves more, because even if someone's sitting like across from me, it sounds like they're right in my ear going smack, 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 crunch, 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 slurp, 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 and I'm like... I just get very irrational. Mr. Stitch, nice try, Kel. Nice try. On the butterfly? Where? Because I doubt it. Oh wait, wrong project, carry on? Yeah, I was gonna say. This is dark and gloomy, not bright and colourful. But how are you doing today, Kel? Back, went down the EA rabbit hole. What did you find out? Everything you needed to know? And how bad the EA acquisition by Saudi Arabia? Good, eating my lunch? Good. But I'm the same way. I hate the sound of people chewing, drinking and whispering. Oh, I do the whispering thing a lot on stream as a joke. My bad. I do it when I'm like, guys, we're not gonna say a word about this, are we? That's when I start whispering, like, this is a secret between friends. Yeah, I did, and it sucks. Yep. It's very unfortunate. I feel bad for everyone who enjoys The Sims, who feels like they can no longer enjoy it anymore. I also realise it's a bit hypocritical of me to say that when I probably have the worst part of my mouth, which is when I do certain sounds, I make certain noises. Like when I say anything with S's, it's like I can't help that. Or if I say something with a T, for some reason I've always spoke like that. I have tried not to, it just doesn't sound right. But like, that's out of my control. I tried when I was younger to stop talking like it, but nope. No, it's okay. But when people do the whole video whispering as an ASMR, oh. And the mouth is very wet sounding. Like, please swallow the spit before you slobber everywhere, please. Like when they've like literally had like a big gulp of drink before they started recording, and they've still got the water in their mouth, and it's just like the smacking and the... Yeah, no, I hate that too. I don't like those kinds of videos. UK problems? Yeah. The silver spoon in the mouth problem for me. you have a lisp and that's okay. Another pet peeve is smacking their teeth every other word. Well, I don't have a lisp as such. It's not a lisp, it's my teeth. It's the way the air comes out from my teeth. But I don't like hearing people smack their teeth either. Because when I've done it accidentally, it's so painful. Why would you choose to do that with every other word? Also, I'm pretty sure like clonking your teeth together like that is not healthy for them. But no, mine's like a lot of people with posh sounding voices have this problem that I have when we speak. And yet again, I don't live anywhere posh. I come from a town that is not known for being posh. I feel like this isn't the case, but it feels like sometimes that I was accidentally swapped at birth and I should have been with a posh rich family waving at everyone going, oh, hello. Because I'm the only one in this house that does this. Like, it's not like it's like only certain people. I'm the only one that does this. And I remember, and it was always pointed out to me as a child because no one else in my class has ever done it. And people were like, did you go to a posh school? And I was like, no, I went to the same school as him there. But it was just, and everyone was like, no, it's true. She did go to school with us. She's always sounded like that. I sound like I just was born with a silver spoon. Like that's the accent, a silver spoon in the mouth. But your accent just sounds fancy. Exactly. I sound articulated and well put together without being either of those things. I can say whatever I want and people are like, yes, that's exactly right. Even if I'm like, is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Because it's like when I got to secondary school, my worst lesson was English. When I say my worst, it wasn't like the one I performed to the worst in. I just disliked it because we would read books. Like we would all be given the same book as a class, so it'll be like an example was Of Mice and Men. And for that year we were learning about it. We would read parts of it each lesson out loud, but the teacher would do it in a certain order, and every time it got to me, I would have to read way more than everyone else because of the way I enunciate and the way I sound. The teacher, like I remember, like we were supposed to read like a certain amount, and I stopped because I was like waiting for her to say the next person, and I look up at her and she goes, carry on. And I'm like, oh, so I'm like, keep reading, and then I stop at the next bit and I look, she's like, I'm like, I'm not reading the whole damn book. It's like I hate public speaking. So why make me do this? Why? And then sometimes I would get on the teacher's nerves by mispronouncing things on purpose so she'd move on to the next person sooner. Like I can't remember her name, but there's a woman in the book who had a name, and every time I read her name I'd pronounce it different every time. Just because I didn't want to read anymore. And then she finally moved on to the next person and I was like, oh. So anytime I was sick of reading, I would just start mispronouncing things. Like, I wouldn't mispronounce the very obvious words, because then she'd know I'm doing it as to get away with it. So I'd get to the words where you could kind of mistake it and you could pronounce it one way or the other. I wouldn't pronounce it the American way, because my mouth can't do that. I can't say mum in the American way with an O, because it doesn't come out right. I just sound like I'm in pain. Sometimes, instead of saying pastel, I will say pastel. And then my mum looks at me and I'm like, pastel, sorry. But it's also interesting though, because in America, depending on where you go, like if you go more northern, the accent changes, and if you go more southern, it's a completely different dialect. And it's the same kind of here, like in the UK, if you go too far north, you end up in Scotland, so you end up in Little's territory, and then you get a completely different accent. But if you go up north, like before you get to Scotland, like up towards York, they miss words out. So instead of saying I'm going to the shop, it's like I'm going to shop. But the two is just a t. I'm going to shop. And then if you come down south a bit, you get to Liverpool, and that's where you get your Liverpudlian, which is where you get your things like your beans on toast, which is the post. So like in football, they go, oh, he's hit the beans on toast, the post. In football, it's soccer for Americans. And then there's I'm going up the apple and pears, the stairs. What's the other one? I remember I used to know lots of them. I looked them up as well because we were talking about it in another stream, and I forgot them all. But there are things like that where it kind of rhymes, but it's not just rhyming, it means something. It's like we call policemen, we call them like coppers, or we'll call them pigs. Or the old Bob. And then if you go south a bit more, you get the posh estate. But it's actually quite funny, because where I live, we have us, the slums essentially, and then across the road, it's all big houses that cost a lot of money. It's just quite funny. But languages are interesting. It's like when someone speaks a completely different language and they start learning English, and it's very difficult for them to stop pronouncing certain things the way they do. So like when they, like in France, they roll their R's. So when they say things here, like in English, they'll roll their R, even if it doesn't need it, and it's because it's a habit. So I was just checking that was in the right spot, because I have a habit of starting my diagonal one stitch too far in. But then if you go north a bit from where I am, and then west. I was right. I then confused myself. If you go west, you end up in Wales, where they speak a completely different language. So it's just like, even in the one continent where I am, the one little island, we have 3 countries in the one little bit, and then attached to us by nothing but the ocean we have Ireland. East, south. Yeah, lots of like. Well, I live in like the southern part of the UK. Northwest, yeah. So I'm seeing myself on the map with a little pin on it. I don't know what that says, Kel. I don't speak whatever that language is. I couldn't even tell you what I thought it was. Actually, it's probably, it looks Spanish, but it might not be. Where is Emma in Spanish? I got the language right. It was the Esther. I was like, oh, that looks Spanish. I am in the southwestern part of the United Kingdom. Ish. That's as close as you're gonna get. I was messing with you since you were saying different areas. Yeah, I was doing all that from where I am to be like, if you go this far, you get to that. Because otherwise, if I say you go to Wales and it's like, well, where's that from where I am? Well, that's north a bit and west a bit. You could be sitting next to me and it still wouldn't matter where you were if you didn't want to tell me. Yeah, I'm like, how I don't want to tell you where I am. But you're sitting right next. No, I'm not. Don't pretend I'm not. Okay. It's not the fact that I don't want to tell you. It's the fact that there are bad people out there that do horrible things when they find out where you live. I'm not saying that there's anyone here in chat right now that's like that, but the internet is a very scary and dangerous place, as well as a wonderful place at the same time. What count fabric are you stitching? And how long did it take you to get this far on this project? I started this on December 1st, 2025. And I worked on it every day from the 1st to the 31st. So by then, where was I then? And this is 28 count. All my full coverage projects are on 28 count. I know where Emma is, but Emma also knows where I am, yeah. Let me see if I can, I'm just gonna look through my Discord real quick to find, oh there it is, not that long. So this is where I got to at the end of December. So that was December 31st. So we've done 2 diagonals and on a third one since. Because that orange spot is right there. Don't want to add motive for those bad people. She may steal you, Emma, in case you don't know. Also, Emma stitches like mad fast. I wouldn't say mad fast. It depends on the project. I love your needle minders. Thanks. I got them from Wool Warehouse, except for this one. This one I got from Etsy ages ago. I can't remember where I got it from, but this one I got from Wool Warehouse, as well as that one. And that one is very accurate. But I started stitching on 25 count full coverage, like for full coverage projects 1/1, and I felt I have a habit of being too tight, like my tension's too tight. Oh, thank you for that follow. It is, I feel that. Yeah. Oops. You do stitch fast, especially doing full cross. See, I do stitch fast, but certain projects slow me down. And it also depends on how distracted I am when stitching. So if I'm like pausing a lot to show things on stream, then I'm not stitching as much. But switching to two-handed definitely helped. I should actually turn that redeem off. That's for when we played, well, when I played Cult of the Lamb on stream once. Lil goes into Liam Neeson mode when Emma just goes out for lunch. Emma, like, this was planned. And she didn't steal me, okay? She didn't steal you, okay? But I definitely think switching to using multiple needles on a full coverage has helped. Emma doesn't leave the house for lunch. Nice try. It's true, I don't. The only time I leave the house at the moment is to go to appointments. Or for very special occasions like my friend's wedding. And then I get an infection and then I don't leave the house again. Ah. Thank you for the resub, Kel. Why did it only play that noise and not an actual thing? There we go. That's what it should have played. Don't ask why it did that. But okay. Those of you on YouTube had none of that, but that's fine. Twitch, baby. 9 months, Kel. What are we going to name our baby? What are we going to name our baby? You know, I have so many babies because I've had multiple with Lil, multiple with Lumi, multiple with Keshi. Thought I had something? What do you mean? But I don't know why that regular noise played when you resubbed. It should have just straight into the song. No one else got that. Oh yes, I heard it all 3 times. 3 times? You guys should be hearing it 3 times. There was 2 sounds. There was the bring and then the bam bam bam. That's interesting. I thought I didn't set up any of the Twitch notifications to go off on the YouTube side. That is my bad. I should probably fix that. So I keep the alerts separate. Thought I had something with taking you to lunch. No, I don't leave the house, Kel, unfortunately. Not at the moment. We can blame the Crohn's and the hernia for that. Baby Link, and it's a girl since Zelda is taken. I heard the frog follow sound and the 2 sub sounds. Oh, no, keep it like that. I was able to hear it. Okay. Well, I thought I would do it so only Twitch would hear the Twitch ones, because that way it doesn't get confusing, because I was going to set up stuff for YouTube separately. But if we want both, that's fine. It just might get confusing for me, although I might use different sounds for the YouTube ones, so I know. Because all my sound alerts on YouTube, on the Twitch side, are all frog themed, without being specifically an actual frog sound, except for the follow one. But we have a baby link together kill. There we go. I don't think we've named any of the other babies I've had. But multiple needles have definitely helped, because I keep 3 on each project, except for Olivia's hydrangeas. I don't know why. I picked up a 4th one to help with something, and then I just kept it out because I couldn't be bothered to put it back. But I used 3 to help break up the colours, because I felt like it was taking me longer to stitch like one stitch in one colour, swap the needle, like take the needle out, put the thread back, like another thread on that needle, stitch again, take it out. So I started to do 2 needles, and then I switched to, then I upped it to 3, and certain projects I have 4, but it depends on how like colour blocky a colour is. On Ivory Crow, I have a whole needle for one colour, because it's most of the diagonals at the moment, so it's just easier. It's the side duck illustration. Oh, that's our baby. Hey Petrish, how are you doing today? Tired? Oh. Maybe a nap is in order at some point today. I did go back to bed after I had my shower today, just for a little bit, just so I could wake up a bit more. Like, get another hour in, because my Apple Watch was not happy with me because I didn't get a lot of sleep. Oh my god, this person. I need this person I'm listening to stop gulping on their drink. Yeah, probably my sleep schedule is messed up right now. Yeah. Sometimes you need to stay up most of the day. Not that I'm saying you to do this now, but sometimes you have to stay up all day. Some people say you need to stay up for 24 hours, so you go to sleep at 9. It's like, but then you're going to crash during the day. So you need to stay up most of the day. Push through the tiredness as much as you can. And then go to sleep. But sometimes a nap is in order regardless. So... I think it's because I'm so anxious and stressed lately. Yeah, that would definitely do it. Gentle hugs for Petrish. We do have a hug command on Twitch, for those of you that are on the Twitch side. You just have to add the recipient so it actually does it. Yeah, there you go. Gentle hugs. See, I made it gentle hugs already. Ha ha ha. There we go. I've set off a hug train on Twitch now. I started a big book. Oh. I have ridiculous insomnia, so go to sleep at 4 a.m. and wake up at 6 or 7 a.m. Yeah, I go to sleep. Sorry, I knocked this again. I go to sleep at about 4 o'clock in the morning, and then I get up about 10 o'clock. Although I get up at about 8 at the moment to have a shower and then maybe go back to bed for an hour just to get that one more hour in so I'm awake. Over 1,000 pages in audiobook form? Jeez, what is it? Like the entire Lord of the Rings collection, back to front and front to back? I feel like that'd actually be longer. Do you want me to help? Do you want to help me steal Emma so Little won't think anything about it? Oh, scheming. Sarah J. Maas book. 36-hour audiobook. Oh. I still have quite a few audiobooks to listen to from when I was wanting to listen to them. Like I've got the Britney Spears book to listen to. It's alchemized. Oh. But it's due in like 4 days from the library. Ooh. So I gotta listen a lot. Yeah, you gotta get that book grind on. Read 5.5 hours yesterday. Not bad. I know a lot of people do it whilst they craft. Like they sit down to craft and then they just plug themselves in and that's all they do. I listen to Emma while I craft. Yeah. Whilst I stream, I listen to YouTube. Like I'm watching 2 videos right now. I'm watching some YouTube, like some cross-stitching YouTube, and then at the moment it's true crime. And then when Lumi streams, I listen to her too. Because silence is boring. I wish I work while listening to Emma. Well, the VODs are always available, Kel. So you could listen to me whilst you craft too. I listen to audiobooks while I craft and cook and clean. Do you stitch while Lumi is streaming? Of course. I've had whole conversations with Lumi while she's been streaming. But like your immediate reactions, but I like your immediate reactions to me. Yeah, but what you could do is if you don't turn up that day, you can catch up by watching the VOD. I listen to YouTube when I'm working. I'm not meant to, but I can't sit in silence for 5 hours a day. No, I couldn't either. I can't even listen to just the music that's playing for you guys right now because that would do my head in. Plus on my end it's so quiet. I don't know why. It's so quiet for me, but for you guys it's like normal volume. Will you work on the one you worked on stream? Like this one, will you work on this one after you end? Yeah. I will work on this one until I'm essentially coming off of all this to go to bed. The only time I didn't was when I was doing the holiday countdown. I would work on this on stream, take a break, do my holiday countdown, and then if I had time at the end of like after I'd finished that to stitch on this again, then I would. Otherwise I would just leave it till the next day. Yeah, I that's how I finish like sections and pages when I'm not streaming. Because if the only project I work on only on stream is Melody of the Night. That is a stream only project. So when was the last time you diamond painted? The 30th of September 2025. Yeah, I know the exact date because it was the last project I started, which was a mystery kit for my sister on her birthday that I started on her birthday. Like I said, I got a cold at the beginning of September, and then since then I can't look straight down without getting dizzy spells. I don't know what's happened since I've had the cold. But like it's not just like my head feels a bit funny, it's like the room spins, and even if I'm looking like normally, if I turn my head it's worse. So for some reason something happens when I have my neck bent too much. It's like when I was trying to finish the frame for the Little Owl Patchwork sale on Wednesday after stream, I was working on that downward angle, and I had to keep like lifting my head up a bit every now and again so I wouldn't start to get dizzy, because I'd feel it and I'd be like, okay, lift my head up for a bit. Getting a drafting table it's a miracle worker. I have bad back and it helps so much. Yeah, I want to get an easel to go on the stairs, like one of those the flat ones that people draw on. I want to get one of those because I don't have room on this desk. Like I don't have room in this room to have an actual new desk, because I need the desk I have now because it's big enough to fit what I need on it. Ads are going. They've just finished on Twitch's end. Never mind, it's fine. I want to get an easel just to help, and one of those flat ones that you can like lift up a bit. I have found one on Amazon that's a decent price, because I need one that's A3 because my light pad is A3 and I can't diamond paint without the light pad because then I can't see what I'm doing. But yeah, I do want to... Sorry, one of the cats made a funny noise and I had to wonder, I just wondered what that was. It was Molly cleaning herself. Because she's not a quiet cat when she cleans herself, she's all slurpy. But I've also been in a full coverage kick at the moment where I just really love working on full coverage cross stitches. And I do need to get back to diamond painting because I have quite the stash building. Shadow is like that. Yeah, you're like sat there like in a quiet room for some reason and then you can hear slurp, slurp, slurp and you're like, what is that noise? You turn around and there's the cat just lum, lum, lum. And you just stare at them and you're like, really? And then if you're Molly, she stares at you back like, what about it? And then she carries on. Zelda's not as noisy. Molly's just like, you can hear her like teeth chattering as she's like cleaning herself, and it's like, god damn, Molly, why are you so noisy? Zelda, when he eats, anyone would think he's not been fed in days the way he eats. Like right now, he has his pumpkin food out and he has some biscuits. But tonight, when he's given his soup, he will eat that like he hasn't had anything. Could change Fridays from full coverage Friday to flashy Friday for diamond painting. Well, what I was thinking is just going back to making Mondays and Tuesdays diamond painting again, because Fridays will be full coverage Friday because that's the 6 portals, because as a reminder, this is a behemoth. This is a behemoth of a chart. I need this thing worked on more. It's whoops. I've not worked on it since November. Where's my pattern keeper full? There it is. So like a reminder, this pattern right here, this is my 6 portals. This is what I work on normally every Friday because I'm literally still here. My goal for the end of the year last year was to have the first row of pages done at the top. Like, not the whole thing. I'm doing 1 portal at a time. So I need at least like this done. About here is the first row of pages, I think, ish. But the problem is, I am in confetti hell right now. Look at this. Like, this is just a small snippet of the pattern. And it's just confetti. Because this is the bird right here. And then we have the tree. So, like, because that's the bottom of that page, and then I need to come back up here and you can see all these filled in ones, like all these squares that are coloured in are parked threads, like they're threads I've started and parked. So like this is started and parked. This sometimes I just drag them over if they're not too far. but like a lot of the times they are parked, or so like see, so it's just I just need to get this bit done. So Fridays have to be this, and then Thursdays have to stay as whip, no, not as whip, as what do I even call Thursdays? Oh, Hades Day. I forgot Hades Day, because this is coming back out in February, because we are just over here. This project's gonna be 2 years old soon, and I'm still here. Like, look again. There it is. There's the gramophone. Want to put your vinyl on and listen to some tunes? But like, this is where I am on this. So that needs to stay. And then Wednesdays, it's going to be alternating between a regular chart. So at the moment, whoops, didn't mean to click on that. At the moment, that is, oh, I've gone too far. Hang on, sorry. It's Cherry Magpie is one of them, because I want this done. I have a very similar project in Paint by Numbers right now. Ooh. So I need this done. And again, I am here. Then I also need this series done, which is The Year in the Woods, because that's a big project for me at the moment. I then have all these full coverages I want to start. I'm supposed to be doing this every full moon. I haven't worked on it the last few because I just didn't have time, because I've been working on other things. Whoops, and I'm only this far through. So I'm struggling to keep up with the workload, and this is just cross stitch. I can't show you pictures. I can show you pictures kind of of my diamond paintings, but it's just because then I have plans to start all these ones down here. This one's my Feb challenge for this February. Kel, I'm already a step ahead. My February is full coverage February. But like, this is the little acorn stitch along that I'll be starting in February as well. February, here's the dock here for February. Are you ready? I need to go all the way to the top. Hang on. These are the projects that are coming out in February. Let's see if I can remember them off the top of my head. So we have Sleeps with Butterflies. That's coming out. And this is how far I am. Then we have Frogs Kissing coming out. This is how far I am in that. And that's the mock-up. I started this in 2023. And I'm still up in this tiny corner. This is coming out, The Possibilities. I'm here, but I've also got to come back down and finish this bit. So, oops, I didn't mean to click that again, sorry. So that's this. Then we also have, we have the 10th Doctor. I'm 1% in this as well, and this was also started in 2023. And that's this. Then we also have, there was 6 projects. We've just done 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, the other 2, no, wait, it's Ivory Crow. This is coming back out. That's how far she is. And this is Ivory Crow. Then the last one, because Thursday and Friday is Melody of the Night. Oh, the other one is Olivia. And I'm this far through. This one's slowly becoming when Olivia wants to load. Pattern Keeper? Hang on, let me try again. There we go. And like, this one's slowly becoming it. Well, actually it's not. Death is. Oh, Death is also coming back out in February. So this one, which is this far along, and that's this one. And then the one I'm currently working on, which is Death. And then in March, I don't have it on here, but my intention, hang on, let me hide this real quick. Even though you can see it down in the little view, but that's fine, nothing sensitive would have popped up. So like, this is my entire catalogue of cross stitch patterns. In March, I'm looking for H. Hang on. H. Hubble bubble. So I'm meant to be starting this in March. I say meant to be because I might not be able to if I can't get the thread pack. So cute, I know. Because I want to stitch this 1/1 on 40 count, but half stitch, so 10 stitch, because 1/1 full cross will be a pain. And then in May, I'm planning on starting this. For Margaret Morales May. Both me and Little were starting this as well. I wish I didn't require sleep, so maybe that would give me more time to stitch. Same. And that's not even talking about all these ones here. So like, this is my problem. That's why that needle minder is so true right now, because right, because then I would actually finish one piece. Because my issue isn't I can't finish anything. I can finish small pieces, but I want to make more progress in these. And when I'm diamond painting or I'm cross stitching on my other projects, I'm not touching these, and then that's what makes it a problem. So like, I know this is a self-imposed problem, but I can't work on just one. If someone said to me, you can only work on one piece until it's done, I'm not working on any of them, because I wouldn't be able to decide which one, because I'd be like, well, this one's the closest to being done, but then I'd be like, but this one's the least, so wouldn't I want to spend more time on the one that's not closer? So I just wouldn't. I wish I could hyper-focus on one piece without missing my other ones. Yeah, like, that's the other issue too, like, when you become hyper-focused on a piece, and you work on it so often that you neglect your others, and then you're like, oh, I made all this progress in this one chart, but now I'm even more behind. So like, that's what the whole Hades Day was for. Originally it was for me to put % into every single project, but in between I would go back to Melody of the Night. So I'd start with project 1, % Melody of the Night, spin a wheel, project 2, % Melody of the Night. But then I realised that takes too long when a % is a different number per piece. So what I've decided to do is I'm either gonna do, I say I've decided this and I'm saying what I might do, but like, I'm thinking about it still a little bit, but my plan is either 1,000 stitches on any piece that is 1,000 stitches, like has 100,000 in it. So like, this one is 132,192, so that would get 1,000. But then I have the 10th Doctor, which is 4,000, so, well, 400,000, so that'd be 4,000 stitches, which would take me longer. But actually it wouldn't on that piece, because it doesn't, it's not as, it's very colour blocky, so it would go fast. But like, if I get a confetti heavy piece, so like, I kind of have to pick and choose. But my other one was, I would spend 1 month on, like, say 4 Thursdays, or depending on how many Thursdays there are in that month, because some could be 4, some could be 5, I would work on one project. And then once I'd done that month, I would then do Melody of the Night for a percent, and then after I got the percent on Melody of the Night, then I'd pick another project to do a month on. Which does sound better, but I don't know. I guess we'll play it by ear in February, because the 6 I've picked out are the ones I enjoy the most. So that is the 10th, Frogs Kissing, the Possibilities, or the Eevee one, then Sleeps to Butterflies, Death, and then Olivia's Hydrangeas. But then I also should have more progress on Tiger Tiger, because that one is a gift. Like, I need that one done because that one's for my mum. So what I could do when I go to do the 1 month, 1 project, Melody of the Night, and then another project, I could do my oldest to newest. But then I also need to plan a restart, because Beautiful Secrets, I need to restart. I have the fabric for it. Like, I bought some hand-dyed fabric because it is a no background one. So I have that. I should actually get a new strand, because the next stitch is actually a new colour. Not a new colour, it's getting a new strand of a colour we already had out. The colour palette for this one is mostly grey. That's why I put 2 in 1 Q-snap. But that's impossible for such large pieces like these, where I need to work on one of them sideways and one lengthways. Wait, sideways and heightwise. Vertical and horizontal, essentially. I like to bounce around. What will you stitch on after the Melody of the Night streams? Well, that's the thing. I don't know if I should go in order of my oldest whip, like my oldest full coverage to my newest, but do it in a way, like I said, where Melody of the Night comes out more. I meant the same evening. Oh, I tend not to do anything. Once I'm done, I work on other things. Like, I don't touch a project. Sometimes, if I'm still in a stitchy mood, then I'll pick up a small. But I won't know until the day comes. Like, if I'm like, oh, do you know what? I think even if I put like 200 stitches into Cherry Magpie tonight, like on a Thursday, like that will be 200 more stitches. Like, that I could do that. Or if I'm like, you know, I actually will spend some time doing some behind the scenes admin-y stuff that isn't like important, that I need to, but it's something I need to do, but it doesn't have to be done on a stream sort of thing, then I'll do stuff like that. But yeah, it all just depends. That's why I picked these ones to do it with, and why I did it with 2 new starts, so I could plan it. I'm also a sucker for tension. If I don't have tension, I won't stitch on something. Like, if it's not, like, this is as loose as I will allow. I think you might consider continuing the latest non-Melody of the Night Thursday project. I mean, I could, but I don't know if I'll be up to stitching on 2 full coverages a day on a Thursday. because some of them take a while to set up because it involves taking, so I have a corner clamp on this project. I only have the one. Here, let me, fair enough, yeah, I have one of these. I only have one because these hold Q snaps the best. I do also have a side one, but that's more for when I'm working on a nudge. And the problem is when I want to work on, so when I switch from this to Olivia, I have to take it off of this and then to put it on that. So if I'm working on just Melody of the Night for 4%, I won't really want to take it off. Where it's easier for me to just stitch in hand with a frame, my smaller ones, even if it is a bit more. Oh no, now I've got the black mark. My Lowry stand needs a clean. It needs an oil too. It squeaks so bad. You probably hear it when I'm turning it. It's like squeak. It's a horrible noise. Because you are supposed to oil these with their special stuff, but you have to buy it separately. I think it should come with it. I need to get more Q-snap replacement clips. Yeah, I need more Q-snaps. I'm meant to be getting more Q-snaps before February. Because I need at least 2 more. So every project I'll be working on in February has its own Q-snap. I don't know what oil to use on mine, so I haven't. Yeah, see, like, that's the thing. Like, I think it's just beeswax, which I know isn't Petrish safe. So, I know honey isn't, but beeswax. I've started making my own Q-snaps, but I still need the clips. Yeah, they're definitely cheaper than buying the official ones. See, because there's this, right? Where's Google on this? I need them lined up exactly the same. There we go. So this is the Lowry Care Kit. Beeswax usually actually doesn't bother me. Oh, well, there you go. But I'm pretty sure this is just beeswax. Just as wax polish, actually. Thing is, my nan's allergic to wax polish. But I'm pretty sure that's beeswax. Like, if you look at the video, this looks like beeswax. Look, that looks like beeswax, doesn't it? Like your thread gloss. I've taken to making Q-snap lap stands out of PVC pipe. Well, that's essentially what most of them are anyway, so why not? Cheaper to get it from a hardware store than the official ones, because I have to get mine from a seller on Etsy. Like, they're not that badly priced, it's just everywhere else is out of stock. I'm actually going to bring them up real quick so I have them, but I can't remember the name of the shop. Oh, it's just come to me. Cross and Crafts in the UK sell Q-snaps, so anyone that's in the UK that needs one. I have a cutting board wax that looks like that. Very interesting. See, because I need an 11 by 17 and I need 2 of them. And they also sell fabric. That's where I got my fabric from for Olivia. They also have needle minders. Okay, I'm gonna keep that there so I remember. The PVC ones are heavier, but if I use it as a lap stand, it doesn't bother me. Yeah. Oops. Yeah, it was close, and he kept pulling that then. I think I came down in the wrong hole, my bad. The only problem with stitching so many dark colours next to each other, you can't see. You cannot see what you are stitching. I want to try to figure out how to make a floor stand for myself eventually. Jessie Marie, as in Jessie Marie does stuff on YouTube, has a tutorial on how she makes a PVC table stand. I'm wondering if you could watch that and then use that to help build off to make a taller one for a floor stand. If you want one of those like frame ones that hold the snap, like you put it on and it lays on it, so you can still flip it over to the back. Unless you want it to be built in. It's a very old video on her YouTube. I'll look at it for inspo, yeah. Two, three, 1, 2, 3. I might finish this row and then take a break. I should have took it during my ad break I had earlier. But it's like when you're at school and you need to use the bathroom, but you don't need to use it until after the bell has gone for class. And your teacher's like, you should have gone during break. Well, if I did, I would have. I hate that. I hate the fact that we're taught as children to have to ask for permission to use the toilet. But then when we become adults or even older teenagers, we go to like college and that, it's like, why are you putting your hand up? Just go. And it's like, because we were told to do so at the school. I feel like it's more disruptive having to have someone put their hand up and ask if they can go for a pee than it is for someone to just get up and walk out, as long as they're just doing that. Because nothing angers me more. I mean, I know we've had this discussion many a time on these streams, at least on the Twitch side, but it just bugs me. why can't, why can't we be in control of our own autonomy when it comes to needing the bathroom? I can get, like, if there are certain kids that muck about, so they've had their toilet privilege revoked. But why not do it like that? Like, let everyone start off on an even footing. They can get up and go use the bathroom whenever they want. And then the few that ruin it for themselves have it taken away and have to get permission. Because I think there's nothing worse for a young child to start their period at school, in class, and they want to go to the toilet to sort it out, and they're basically shamed into going. Don't know what's going on with this stitch. It's gone all funny. I give up. But anyway, I'm gonna go take a break real quick, and when I come back we will start the last row with this eye. And then I don't think I'll get this skull done on stream today. We might, but we'll see. It all depends on other things. I will be back in a few minutes. We'll say around 10, just in case, because you never know with me, there might be a bag emergency. So yeah, but I will be back as soon as I can. So whilst I take my break, this is your chance to get up and stretch and maybe go get yourself a snack or a drink if you need to, or whatever it is you need to do in the time I'm gone. But I will be back shortly. I'm back. Sorry I took a little longer than I thought. But let's get into this next row, like I said. Shepherd is getting his eyes. Nice, Doctor. Welcome back. Thank you, Petrish. But yeah, with this last stitch, we have this skull eye complete. And then this gets parked ready to go into the nose hole. That is the medical term for the hole where your nose actually sits, the nose hole. You know, I realised I should have cleaned my glasses before I put my headphones back on, but it's fine. It's only in the corners, as long as I don't look there, it's all good. Again, like I said earlier, how do glasses get so dirty when you only push them up by the middle? Like the bridge bit and not anywhere else? Have you had any issues with any of the discontinued pans lately loading into Pankeeper? I convert a lot of my pans for Saga and it's hell. I haven't put any of those ones in yet. So I'm not 100% sure if there is a problem. But it could depend on how old the PDFs themselves are, as in like the ones that were stored in the system, that you might need to upload them with the legacy upload. Like when you go to upload one, you get this PDF file use legacy import. So you could try this one and see if it helps. Or wait, I think this is different. This is for other things, never mind. But you can, it could be this. I can imagine it's a pain to convert all of those PDFs for Saga. I convert a lot of paper charts into PDFs, so that means I have to meticulously rechart them by hand. But what I've found lately is, because I have a screen drawing tablet, what I'll do is when I'm in a mood to do that, I just pour them. Can I see your mock-up of Rose Library? My mock-up looks like there is a film over the image. I may have put in the DMC wrong. I know that with the unconventional ones, there's a few symbols that it doesn't read. So it puts them as grey. Oh, hang on. I need to make it big. So, like, to give an example real quick, we will together real quick. When it loads. An unconventional that I don't have in here. What unconventional do I have that isn't in here? Hang on, let me open my unconventional file. on this computer? What do I have that's not in here? I think I have all of them in here. That's a shame. Hey, we'll redo spring outfits, fine. Actually, we'll just do celestial again. It's right there. We might as well. That looks great. Mine looks muted. Now we just wait for I know Pattern Keeper has an issue with 613. It makes it look bad. Like you'll see it on this. I like how it's so slow then, and now it's like speeding up. It's nearly done. Come on, you can do it, BlueStacks. There we go. So see, mine does this. So all these symbols aren't assigned. And again, this one right here, that's 613. 613 just does that. I don't know why. Like, it's just this. But that's the right color. But you have to input, because these specific ones right here, there's a... What you can't see because the clock's covering it is a circle with a line through it symbol. So what I tend to do is I tend to go through this, and then I will just... Whoops, if I can type. Hang on, I'm having to type under my project. So like I will do that, and then it fills it in. Sometimes it can be... I don't actually need this, so I will... No, I want to Pattern Keeper, please. I want to delete. I don't need it. Thank you. But yeah, like every time I put it in, it's those few symbols. So it might be a case of you might have accidentally put the wrong symbol, like the wrong colors in. Because you have to scroll to the... I've scrolled too far, hang on. There we go, so you have to input these certain ones in because they come up as grey on here. It tends to be like, I don't know which ones it is specifically, but it's the same ones every time. So if you've uploaded, like if you put in loads of unconventional ones, it does it for all of them with those same symbols. But like 939 would have been one because that's one of the symbols. But is there a specific part that's a problem on yours? Or is it the entire thing? Oops. I shouldn't have that up still. Yeah. That one looks beautiful. Yep. That is Rose Library. Artwork by Ivy Dollamore. It used to be charted by Unconventional, but that was one of the retired ones. It's the entire thing. Like the pink hair looks peach white. It might be worth going through it. So go into the edit legend. So like go into edit legend and then scroll right to the bottom, and then come back up until you get to these pages, and then just double check. I sent you a picture in Discord. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, that is weird. I mean, it looks the same as mine. You can't see, I'm literally flicking between the two. It looks the same. It could just be the colours on a different screen, they look different. Like if you're looking at a pattern keeper on a tablet compared to the device you're using to watch this, the colours can look different. The books do look less saturated though. I do see certain parts where it looks completely different, like the bow on mine's like more pink and yours is like, it's dull. But I'm not sure why it's doing that then, because all I had to do was put in the DMC that was like, if we go back down here and we go to import it together on here, the window is dull too. Yeah, I noticed. I just noticed that as well. Hang on, I have to scroll through all these. There it is. We just wait like 5 minutes again for it to read the symbols on page 2 and then speed through the rest. Sorry, I just punched the mic. You can do it, computer and pattern keeper. Oh, we're on 3. 8. Oh, we're getting somewhere, guys. Oh, my thread just tore. How nice of it to do that. Thanks. 13, 17. Oh, we're on page 50 now. We're getting there. Oh, look, it's speeding through now. Look at it go. Now it's just finding the thread numbers. It's still finding the thread numbers. It's fine. Any second now it will be done. Any second. It's also this slow even when I'm not streaming, so it's not because I'm streaming before anyone's like, maybe you shouldn't do this when you're streaming. You can do it, Pan Keeper. I believe in you. I don't know why my computer is acting like this is the intensive thing, like the most intense thing it's ever done. But it's like really going at it right down here by me. Come on, you can do it. Oh, there we go. So here it is on my end. So like I said, all these ones, hang on, let me bring this up again. So here it is on mine. So all these ones aren't filled in. So what I tend to do is I come right down. I came down too far again. Hang on. So like see that, so this symbol is 939. Whoopsies. And then you go here, there's 939s in there now somewhere. And then 760. It's filling in. Then sometimes I'll flick through between each color so I can see it, even though I don't know where it is half the time. Do we done that one? Like this is how I tend to do it. Luckily all of them are on this page. Whoops. See, now my windows are complete. And then oh, then no, it's right there. And then okay, this one isn't there, but it will be right there. Once there's no cat blocking me from getting polyfill. Oh my goodness. Maybe she's got fed up with you having to get polyfill every 5 minutes, and she's like, fine, you win this round. And then the last color is 779. And then that's how it should look again. So it might be worth maybe redoing it and seeing if, like, re-importing it and seeing, but like that's how it should look. That means that the head is almost finished as well. Yes. Oopsies, I'm smashing all the buttons right now. So yeah, like on yours, this bit here is like dull. Like the whole window is as well, obviously, but yeah. Yeah, like that's how it should look. So I'm not sure what's gone wrong. Again, it might be worth just instead of don't delete the first one, just add the second one and then do it like how I just showed, and then see if it's the same, because then you can compare between the two. But otherwise, it might be worth trying the legacy import and see if that changes it. But Pattern Keeper definitely sometimes has a mind on it of its own, it seems. Luckily, because when I'm done streaming, this will save as a VOD. Oopsies, sorry, I've just turned the webcam light on. This will save as a VOD on YouTube. It'll be easier to go back and see what I did. Do you know what you'll be starting after you've done the Shepherd Doctor? Like, will you be, Right? I only have 2. Oh. Uh-oh. What did I do? Oh, this thread just tore too. Now I've got the case of the snapping thread. Oh no. My Friday stream is slowly devolving into stress and chaos. Delete that strand. I don't know why this is being held hostage. For God's sake, that whole strand is dead now. It's fine. Right, no, that one is in the right place. I just parked the next one, this one. But it's fine, we're just gonna cut this one because oh no, snapping the thread is the worst. I mean, no, my threads sometimes get to the point where they literally just tear. Like when it goes through the fabric too much, it can lose its whatchamacallit, my brain's not working. I'm trying to find one in my art box. That's a good example. But it gets to the point where it gets really ragged, and then you can sometimes feel it, because if you like do this, normally a thread will go dunk dunk dunk, but if it's gonna tear, it will go dunk dunk. Those are scientific terms. It tends to happen when you're using really long strands. Put that there for a sec. I am concentrating mega hard to make sure I don't pull this thread out this needle. There we go. Sorry, we're nearly done with this because now the breathtaking bit is upon us. I need to cut this without cutting any of the other strands. There we go. Because I've never done that before, and then I done it on this piece and it was the worst. I was so upset. We're also going to get rid of this strand once we've done this stitch. But we have to finish the previous row first. Spike is unhappy because the house phone keeps ringing. He's singing the song of his disgruntled people. I feel like it's been 6:59 for the past like 5 minutes. I am starting to wonder if the house phone ringing twice in a row is a certain someone. Those of you that know who I'm talking about will know, but when that whole issue with him was going on in May, the house phone was ringing like twice in a row. Like it would ring, ring off, ring again, then ring off. And it's like, we do have his number blocked on this phone, but it's possible he's either got a new number. Because he's not supposed to contact us at all. But I can fill those of you that don't know in, because I'm not... What's the word? It's nothing embarrassing or anything like that. It's just... In May last year, we had our dad kicked out of the house because last January he threatened to punch my sister because what happened was my sister has birds, as you can probably hear from the background noise, and he used to sleep downstairs in the living room because this house is not big enough for 7 people. Plus, with most of us being women, apart from my granddad and him at the time, most of us are having to share a room, except for my grandparents obviously share a room, but like I'm having to share with my aunt and my sister has to share with our mum because there's just not enough room. And he had his desk downstairs and his computer, and he would constantly talk on Discord. Now, the issue wasn't him talking on Discord during the day, it was doing so at night. And when I say at night, I mean after everyone's gone to bed. And he has all these mental health issues, so he's supposed to be taking all these medications, and when you take these medications, you're not supposed to drink alcohol with them. I said I was going to end this thread, so I'm not going to do those stitches. But yeah, so he would drink alcohol and energy drinks and just things you're not really supposed to do whilst you're on certain medications. And so he would start to shout and that downstairs when he would get drunk. So we would go down there and we'd tell him to keep the noise down because, you know, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, people are trying to sleep, we don't need to hear this. And we never went down there and was rude towards him, it was just like a hey, can you keep the noise down please sort of thing. And for some reason, this one time my sister goes down there to tell him again. This is she hasn't told him multiple times that night, but this is like the second time that week because it was just the start of the week that she'd gone down there and she was like, hey, can you please keep the noise down? And for some reason this just set him off and he started to go off on one at her. Like he was getting in her face, so she shoved him just to get him out of her face because she doesn't like people in her personal space. Especially not a stinky man who doesn't bathe. Ever. So, and I'm not exaggerating when I said he never bathed. By the way. Yeah. Apologies to anyone who is eating or was going to eat and is now put off. I'm very sorry. But it was just getting worse and I was in bed and I was listening to a podcast and I could hear everything. No one else could hear what was going on but me, and I was like Mum, they're going off on one, because I could hear both of them now starting to raise their voices, whereas at first it was just him. But my sister's the sort of person where if you push her, she's going to push you back. If you bite her, she's going to bite you back sort of thing. So I'm like, Mum, they're getting worse. Like, this is the worst it's ever been. because normally she'll go down there, she'll tell him, and then she comes back up and she tells us, like, if he starts again, let me know. But I can just hear them, and I'm like, this isn't going the way it should. So my mum bolts out of bed, she runs down those stairs, and she tells him to get away, because that's when he literally says that he's going to punch her in the face. And then my aunt goes and gets involved by standing at the top of the stairs and telling him to stop it. And that's when he tells her to go suck on a knob, because my aunt is a lesbian, so he was homophobic there, which, you know, is standard for him. He's all kinds of phobic, including waterphobic, apparently. And then after that, my sister didn't feel safe in this home, so we started the process through the courts to have him legally removed. And we now have a non-molestation order, because when the court case came, he never turned up, so it wasn't even a court case really. It was just a, well, you didn't turn up, so we're awarding this to the claimant sort of thing. And then he's got his ex to come down. That's the third time our phones rang. But yeah, so we were awarded a non-molestation order, which means he can't contact us, he can't come near the house unless he's given permission from both my grandparents. So if it's just one, he can't come in. Like, if only my nan's there, my nan's like, yeah, you can come in, he still can't, because it has to be both my nan and my granddad. But yeah, so that's what happened. Poor Spike, I know that the phone just keeps ringing and he just keeps screaming. I called that he wouldn't turn up, yeah, but it was obvious he wasn't going to. It also doesn't help as well, Peterish, that they haven't been out. Like, none of the birds have been out to fly since the ceiling hole, because there's a hole in our ceiling. It's not safe for them to come out to fly, and we're not getting that fixed maybe until February. So yeah, because the living room's the safest room for them to come out in, but they can't because there's a massive hole. So it's just, they're just cooped up in their cages. But the cages aren't tiny, they have big aviary sized cages, but they still need to come out. But that is number 4. Hang on, I'm messaging my sister because I need to know. Because I do have this funny feeling. Safety is important, yeah. It just sucks though, because it's not nice to have to keep them cooped up. But yeah, but I don't like to bring him up around my sister for obvious reasons. But I did just now because of, I wanted to let her know that I have a suspicion it could be him. Because Ow. But because, I think I fixed it. Oh, good. Yes, oops. I hope you have fixed it. Still looks off on Saga, but looks okay in Pankeeper. Well, if it looks, I think it could just be how RGB values are displayed on different things, because like I just showed, 613 on Pattern Keeper looks god awful, but it's not, but it does on Pattern Keeper, and it's just how Pattern Keeper reads the RGB for 613. But yeah, there are many a story that have been had about this individual on these streams, because I've just had enough, you know. He should have been out years ago. But as long as the DMC itself is right in Saga, I'm sure it'll be fine once you start stitching. Like I said, it's probably just how the software registers the DMC RGB values. But I'm glad you fixed it. And technically the mock-up isn't as important as long as the symbols match what the DMC they're supposed to be. I think I would do a right top start just to see how it comes out, or a center top start. Ooh, I'm a top left starter all the way. It doesn't matter if what I want's at the bottom, I'm starting at the top, because I will get confused. So like if I'd started this in the middle, I would have been, I think, closer to her face, kind of, maybe not actually. But I could have started in the middle and branched off to her face. Although the only one I might do a center start on is Beautiful Secrets, because it's a no background. And I'm stitching that on a massive piece of 28 count, hand dyed, so I'd want to center that on the fabric to make sure I have enough room, probably, because I won't be able to grid unless I use some sulky sliver. I always do top left, sometimes center. Oh. Yeah, I just don't know why. I can start in the middle on non-full coverage, but when it comes to full coverage, it has to be the top. Or as close to the top as it can get if it's not a full... Actually, I'm a liar. On The Frog by Lorna Lane, my Gecko Rouge, I've actually started that in the middle, as with the Queen Bee by Lorna Lane, but those are non-background full coverage ones, kinda. They're full coverage because they have a lot of stitches, but they don't have backgrounds. Zelda, what? No, you can't sit there. Look at this. You can't see him now. Look, there he is. There's my boy. Yeah. Do you think you can move from there though, mate? Because I can't cross stitch with you there. But I worry about how it's going to look. I don't want to spend years on a pattern and be disappointed with the outcome. Yeah, no, I definitely get it. But I think, like I said, as long as the number matches the symbol, it should be fine. Because also sometimes the mock-up can look slightly off because of the way DMC is. Sorry, I had to gently pull my hand away because Zelda is literally right there. You inspecting the back of my work? But he's right there. Oh, now he's in the camera's face. There you go. He's rubbing up against you guys. Yeah. Zelda, I need to put this back up there though, because there is no room for me to hold this. Hang on, he has to give you guys your love. There we go. There is nothing hanging off of this for you to have though. No, you're gonna break my webcam one of these days. Oh. My god, you're dribbling! Zelda, you're dribbling! There's a pile of dribble all over my cross stitch! Zelda! Zelda, why? Come on, you slobbery mess, you. No, come here. Oh, I don't know if the camera's gonna pick it up, but like, he's also turned the light on again. But like, I have dribble all over my grime guard now. Look at that, you can see the wet spot. Look, I have a pile. Oh, Zelda, you're so slobbery. Why? He only normally gets like that when he's got treats. I might have to give the webcam a quick wipe down just in case. So close your eyes, guys. Close your eyes, I'm coming at you. I've turned the light on, hang on. Sorry. Oh, I've done it again, I turn it on again, hang on. There we go, is that better for you? Can you not see better now? Cats. That is like the first time he's properly dribbled like that in ages, just rubbing up against stuff and not. I guess he is missing teeth there now. He had, so back in October, for those of you that weren't here then, Zelda had 2 of his back teeth taken out. He had 1 per side, like his middle back ones, because they were really bad. And I think because he's not got no teeth then now, when he gets really excited, he just dribbles. Because originally it was going to be those 2 back teeth and his 2 fangs at the front. But they couldn't do the x-ray because they put him under to do the x-rays, and then they were gonna take the teeth that needed to be taken. But when they went to go do the x-ray, so they'd put him under and went to go do the x-rays, and the x-ray machine broke. And so they phoned me up, and you know what? There is nothing worse than waiting for a phone call to tell you your pet is fine, and they have to phone you to say there's a problem, and you're panicking thinking it's the worst news someone could have, only for them to say the x-ray machine's broke. And I'm like, and they were like, well, we can either wake him up and cancel the procedure and you'll pay nothing, or we can carry on without the x-rays and just do the teeth that are the worst, and then if the others become problems in the future, we'll just put him under again and do those. And I was like, yeah, let's do that, because I didn't want to put him under again unless absolutely necessary. I mean, I was already a nervous wreck. I could not have anything to eat until I got that phone call to say he was fine. Like, I was like walking around, like pacing up here in like my nan and granddad's room, pacing back and forth, talking to him, like my granddad, to help me distract myself, and then my phone would ring and I'd answer it, and the whole time like my hands are shaking, my heart's racing, my stomach's like dropping a knot just in case. And they were like letting me know about his teeth and that, and so I was like, okay, don't need that one, my bad. But then I got the final phone call to say that everything went well and he's awake, but I have to wait a few hours for him to come round properly. But everything went well and I could pick him up later that day. And as soon as I got off that phone call and I knew he was fine, my stomach was like, feed me. And so I was like, okay, I can have food now. So I had something to eat. And then we picked him up about 4 o'clock. And then he came home. The most expensive vet visit I've ever had for him, though. His teeth extraction cost £444 and 18p. But I did have help from my amazing community over on Twitch. Some people did help out with that, which I was so grateful for, and I still am, because I couldn't afford the whole 400 in one go. This is why I still want maple sterilization. Yeah, it is difficult to pay for these things at the moment. But I got Zelda done as soon as he was old enough, because I was like, no thank you. I do not want a tomcat spraying in my house. Cat pee smells bad enough as it is. Not the payment, the worries. Yeah, like that too. But it's also the cost and then the worry. And it didn't help, right? I don't know what it is, but I have this weird superpower that's not a great one to have, where sometimes I'll be talking about things here on stream and then something will happen where I will get an email, I will get a text, I will come across a video that is about the topic I've spoke about. So there's me talking about Zelda, like going to the vets a lot to have his teeth looked at, and then I started to get really sad stories on Facebook about their pets dying. And I'm like, why? I already I have the worst case of anxiety ever, because I can come up with realistic scenarios that are horrifying to the normal person. And it's like, ugh, I didn't need to think of those things. I don't have the worst case of anxiety in the world, but mine's probably so bad I do probably need medication for it, but that means going to the doctor and telling them this. And that's worse. Because I realized how bad mine must be, to the point where I'm so used to them that me and my mum were having a conversation about Zelda, because we were getting annoyed about something, not to do with him specifically, but something surrounding him, if you know what I mean. And my mum just started crying because she had this horrible thought come into her head, and it made her that upset. She started crying because she had a picture. And I was just sat there going, I get these all the time. I think there's something really wrong with me, because I'm like, I can imagine car crashes happening in my head and I'm fine. But it, you know... My roommate has had to put off neutering their one dog because only one testicle descended, so it's a more complicated procedure. Yeah, Zelda actually had that. They didn't know until they went to go do it, and they were like, oh, we have one, and the other was slightly up inside a bit. It wasn't like completely up, it had dropped, but not all the way. So he was kind of lopsided. But they managed to do it. It just took a little longer. But I was panicking at work because I was like, I feel like it should be done by now, but That's how I am in the car, constantly picturing bad things and causes panic. And it's more expensive, yeah. Although the vet I used to go to for Zelda back when he was a kitten, he wouldn't charge for those sorts of things because he knew that money was tight for me. Like I explained the situation, like how I do work, but it's part-time and all that. And like Zelda, when we got Zelda, he had fleas and worms because of the place he came from, like the house he came from. It was a really dirty house. And clearly he got the worms from his mum because that's how kittens get worms. It's from drinking the milk. I'm a schizophrenic, so I understand the negative thoughts. Yeah, they're not nice. Like I said, I should probably get myself like tested to see if it's just anxiety. That is our phone ringing again. It's either a company being really harassing right now or it's him. Do you know what? I have the right mind to just answer the phone and just hold it to Spike and let him scream down their ear. That's what I would do. But yeah, like Zelda had worms and I explained that to the vet and we'd bought some over-the-counter deworming stuff and it wasn't working. So the vet just slipped Zelda a tablet and he goes, that'll do it. And he only gave him the one. Like he literally just went, here you go. Zelda ate it. And then that was it. I never got charged for that one pill. But and then the practice closed and so we had to go somewhere else. And then I was like, I think I'm just an overly anxious individual. I think that's what it is with me too, but I should probably get myself checked just in case it's something worse. I don't think it is, but just in case. Because thanks to the old sperm donor, he doesn't even deserve that name. But mental health issues do run in the family. Like my sister does have anxiety and depression. I don't have the depression, but I probably have the anxiety. Because I was given a kinda diagnosis. And the reason why I say a kinda is because I went to go see a doctor about one of my illnesses when I was growing up. And the regular doctor wasn't there that day. So I ended up having to see someone else that works with him. And I was very quiet because it was someone I didn't know. And she noticed and she was like, are you normally this quiet, like, in general? And my mum was like, no, she's normally, like, talking up a storm. You can't get her to shut up sometimes. And she was like, And then she was like, I think you have a case of anxiety. And then that was basically the diagnosis. That was it. And I was like, what's that? But she said more social anxiety, so which would explain things. I've gotten better with it with streaming, but if you told me to go out into a crowd, no. Nope. The second shepherd is done, all sewn up, both are in the whips. The 3 kings are up next. Ooh. I'm an entire basket case. I have schizophrenia, depression, bipolar, anxiety. Ooh. Oh, look at the shepherd and his sheep. Technically it's a lamb. But, oh, and the eye worked out actually. on the little lamb. Very nice, doctor. I love how different he looks without his beard and then with the beard. It's like, oh, it's like when a man shaves after having a beard for so long. It's like, who's the baby? Yeah, mental health issues aren't the greatest, especially the ones that have like a lot of stigma behind them, like the bipolar and the BPD and well, just anxiety in general, because then when you have to go to hospital and stuff, it's, oh, that's just your anxiety. And it's like, I think I know the difference between my heart racing because I'm anxious and my heart racing because something's wrong with my heart. I've never been to the hospital for that, but this is just anecdotal from what I've heard from other people. But it is annoying to be dismissed, and when you do have an actual health concern, just as, oh, it's just your anxiety, and it's like, I don't think it is, because if it was, I wouldn't be in this room right now talking to you. Like, yes, sometimes anxiety can make symptoms seem worse because you get in your head about it, and then if you've googled your symptoms, it's like cancer. Yes, that can make it worse. But sometimes I think doctors need to ignore the fact that someone has anxiety and do the tests that they need to do first before saying, I'm very sorry, but we've ran all the tests we possibly can for the symptoms you claim, and it seems like it seems to be psychosomatic. You know, it seems like you have an underlying mental health issue that is causing your symptoms to come across worse. Because I think more patients would be understanding if a doctor did that after they've done all the testing, rather than go, I see you have anxiety, that's what it is, that's what's causing all your symptoms. But then it's even worse if you're a black woman, because not only are your claims dismissed, your pain is dismissed. Like, there have been cases of black women being told that something isn't as painful as they're claiming it out to be, when it actually was as bad. And it's because of racist studies that we did back in the day, where we did horrific things to people and determined that in the opinion of the old fogies, that black people are wimps, essentially. Even though they're not, they just feel pain differently because they have different what's the word? Obviously they have different melatonin levels because that makes them darker, but the where they came from originally can also affect it, like climate, location, heritage, you know, all those things can affect how things affect. Like, you could even have a mother and a daughter who are white, and they could experience the same pain differently. So just so much of science is rooted in racism, and we should be updating studies with better facts rather than using information that's outdated. But unfortunately, after I finish these 2 stitches, I will have to call stream. But look, we were here for 3 hours and 50 minutes nearly, so nearly 4 hours. I also panic-ended stream for no reason yesterday. When I heard the front door open, it wasn't my family coming home from work. It was just my granddad coming in from going to the chemist. So I felt like a big idiot when I ended. And then I was like messaging my sister, who was that? And she was like, it was granddad. And I was like, oh. But this time I have had the message. So Well, I did have the message yesterday too, but I will finish this up and then I will end stream. I would have gone till I finished this section. That is our phone ringing again. Now I'm curious who's calling, so am I. We do have a house phone upstairs. Little go answer Ember's phone. I'm sure Little would if Little lived closer. That would confuse whoever it is on the other end of the phone. They phoned at home. This in England, not Scotland, and they've got a Scottish woman on the other end. Oh, you don't want me to answer if it's him. We'll have to wait until Monday before we know. I don't think we're ever going to answer it because we don't want to know if it's him. That's the problem. We don't want to answer it in case it is him because we're not supposed to be talking to him either, so... That sounds brilliant. It does, but... That's why I said we should just have Spike scream down the phone. Because that would do the job. Why do you have a phone then? Well, we have a house phone in case hospitals and that need to get hold of us, because although they have our mobile phone numbers, they prefer to phone the house phone. But we can't answer the house phone if we think it's him phoning, because we're not supposed to speak to him either. So I figured it'd be easier for Lil to answer than I. It's true. It is very true. But unfortunately, our time here has come to an end. Let's put this to the side. The chocolate, thank you. Good luck with the phone, thanks. There's a chance that we might just put the phone to Spike so he can scream at them. But yeah, thank you all for coming today. I appreciate every single one of you, even if you were here all the time, some of the time, part of the time, or none of the time, because you were lurking. I do appreciate those of you that spend the time to both communicate in chat and to lurk. Because lurking is important as well as chatting. There goes Spike again. But yeah, I will be back on Monday. We'll be working on Death again, although over the weekend I am going to be working on Olivia's hydrangeas, because that is my weekend piece. And then Monday I will be back on Death, and then Tuesday is Olivia, Wednesday is Cherry Magpie, Thursday is Olivia, and then Friday is Death again. So yeah, and those of you that are on YouTube, you can now expect me every Monday to Friday. Yay! Yippee! I threw out my plan of going live just on Thursdays and Fridays, because what's the point? I've already got everything set up, I might as well. And then next Wednesday, so not the Wednesday coming up, not the Cherry Magpie stream, but the next Little Owl Patchwork sale, that will also be our first whip showcase of the year. So if you guys have anything that you would like to show off, You can join the Discord. I don't have a link for YouTube, I'm sorry. I mean, I could just copy the here, like, but one time I will copy and paste my Discord channel link into the chat for YouTube. I will make a bot thing so I don't have to copy and paste it. But if you want to know when I go live, although the YouTube notification is a bit delayed, so if you sign up for the Twitch notification, you will be notified when I go live on both Twitch and YouTube, because for some reason the YouTube one doesn't happen sometimes until after I've stopped streaming, and then sometimes it double pings. But there's literally nothing I can do about that. I don't know why it does it. It should do it for when I go live and then when I'm done. But it doesn't, or just when I go live, but it don't. It just when I'm done and then when the video is processed. Makes no sense. YouTube be YouTubing things. I got loads of pictures. I'll forward all of them to the appropriate channel before Wednesday. Yeah, I'm gonna snooze these ads on Twitch because we do not need them right now. But once again, I appreciate you all for coming. Whoops. I'm clicking on things I shouldn't be, my bad. That's our phone going again. I honestly have a feeling it's him. Anyway, whilst the phone rings in the distance, and my sanity drops lower and lower every time I hear it, I will be back on Monday once again, so I hope you're having a fantastic, wonderful, relaxing weekend, and you get to do all the things you want to do over the weekend, and my brain's gone. What do I normally also say? Oh, and you stay safe. I can't believe I forgot the most important thing. You will stay safe, and if you live in a warm climate, you stay cool, and if you are like me and live in a cold climate at the moment, you stay warm. And if you live somewhere where it's flooding or it's on fire, you stay extra safe, and you take all the precautions you need. And I will see you all back here on Monday, hopefully. So until then, take care, everyone, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.